have we got some updates for you. Castle's almost finished and the hunt is on. Castle has been in the works for roughly 8 months now. In that time, our designers and artists have planned, designed, tested, arted, tested some more, played, arted some more, and now they've hit the final stage of testing. To give you a bit more of a look at the process behind Castle, I had a chat to some of the devs.
Working on Castle has been a very creative process. The challenge we set ourselves originally was really ambitious. We were really keen to make sure that the environment felt like a real location, whilst at the same time conformed to the polished block out.
Taking a step back and analysing the existing maps allowed us to justify a lot of the design choices we were making in Castle. We have a better understanding of how competitive play thrives and suffers in the existing maps, and we're able to incorporate a lot of these learnings in Castle.
Everyone got pretty inspired by this map, and we pushed it further in terms of in-game events. We have exploding walls, exploding gates, exploding ravens, exploding everything. You really get the sense that Jackal has caught the CDA off guard with their attack in this map. In it, you'll be hijacking a CDA EV, bypassing a flooded gas moat, and stealing a reactor core. This unique sense of narrative in the map is extremely interesting and should add that extra bit of flavour.
Castle's environment really sets it apart from other maps. Architecturally, it's very different from other buildings and structures we've created before. Therefore, the map team had to create a lot of high-level bespoke artwork. Visually, it's unlike anything you've seen in DB before.
One of my favourite parts of watching a competitive DB match is the swing which happens when defenders make poor tactical choices, allowing the attackers to build momentum. Castle is primarily built for tactical competitive play. It encourages both sides to make sensible tactical decisions and punishes them for not considering the spawn timer, objective progress, and the number of players alive on both sides.
What's the release date, you may ask? Well, that's still under wraps for now, but you'll be wreaking havoc on cobbled streets well before Santa makes his annual visit, as Castle will be releasing later this year. We're super excited to have you jump into one of London's most iconic landmarks and partake in glorious warfare. Earlier this year, we announced some big news.
Till the end of the year, we're going to be shipping a new Merc, including a new primary and a new secondary weapon every 6.5 to 7 weeks until the year is out. Yep.
So far, we've kept to this release plan, with Turtle, Javelin and Guardian all hitting the game on time. We have noticed, though, increased comments and threads from you discussing game hygiene. As we've had our sights fixed on getting more content to you, more bugs have been slipping into the game. The next Merc is well underway though, and to give you something to talk about, here's a quick look at Hunter, the Alaskan wilderness expert who's coming to London in January. We want Hunter to be the best he can be, so we're going to take a little extra time on him, and at the same time, we're going to be tidying up the game between now and his release. This week, Stimpy's showing off their skills in their gloriously named frag video, Random Pub Montage. But don't let the title fool you, the number of headshots is too damn high, so give it a watch and enjoy. OCB's World Cup is starting to near its climax as the semi-finals kicked off this week. If you want to stay on top of what's happening and watch some epic Dirty Bomb gameplay, then head over to their Twitch channel, get following, and turn those juicy notifications on too. Last week, the most reported issues were Extra Credit Weekend, Matchmaking, and Belgium. For Extra Credit Weekend, some of you have been posting on the forums and Reddit as you felt the event wasn't functioning correctly. I can confirm the event was working as intended, but the signaling of the bonus credits you earned was not good enough. Because of this, the next time we do one of these events, we want to make sure the bonus credits you earn have their own end of match notification. For matchmaking, earlier this week we made more updates to our matchmaking algorithms to improve queue times further. And for Belgium, we do not have any concerns about the current loot box headlines, but we do have some interesting news coming about the loadout card system. So stay tuned as more information will come over the next 2 weeks. Castle's looking pretty cool, but so is the Christmas event. We'll be giving you more information on that next week, so make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on, so you don't miss a thing.
Triple kill. Grenade. Double overcharge. Overcharge. Double barrel. Triple kill. Quad flammable. Power evacuation arrows. Trophy has 2 power. Grenade.
Hello, I'm Gary from Fireblade Software. In this video we're going to check out some of the monsters lurking in the deep. The world in Abandoned Ship is in turmoil. A once dominant faction has collapsed and a new power is rising. The cult of Halifron. The cult worships ancient sea monsters. Their ultimate goal is to consume the entire world, bringing enlightenment to everyone whether they want it or not. When you play the game you'll find out why, but for now it's enough to say that the cult is after you and will stop at nothing until you've been brought back into the fold. There are many ways you'll be hunted. The cult has its own fleet. The fanatical crews do not fear death and will never surrender. The Halifron are fearsome aquatic melee fighters. They can dive into the water and board you from long range. And of course there is the Kraken. This monster is relentless in its pursuit. If it catches you, be prepared for a desperate fight. The odds are stacked against you, but there are ways to strike back. Throughout your journey you will acquire the knowledge and power to prevail. However, there may be more to the cult than it initially appears. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.